everyone, my name is Mia Jan. Welcome to my channel, and in this video I would like to just basically film an update video and talk about everything that's been happening in my life, because the last time I filmed a video was when I was back in America talking about my teaching journey, about the documenting process, and that's the step that I was at. But now actually it's been about a month since I've been in South Korea. I've been living here for about a month. So what's been happening to me, and what have I been doing? Basically, I'm actually with a new school right now. So how has the school been treating me? What are my coworkers like? How has my life in Korea been? And what has been going through my head, and actually what are my plans for the future. So I would like to talk about all of those things, and actually perhaps, you know, those of you that are planning to come to Korea, those that do have plans, you know, having to do with South Korea, maybe there are some more tips, because as you know, I'm like I'm pretty honest in my videos. Like I think somebody commented actually and mentioned that like they've never heard somebody say that in a video. So yeah, I do reveal a lot of stuff that I think a lot of people are curious about. When it comes to just, you know, living in a foreign country, the prices, the pay, just the nitty-gritty details perhaps, and maybe some really cool tips and tricks and stuff like that. So yeah, stay tuned. This is my update. So if I want to start from the beginning, actually one crazy thing that happened was, well, the thing is, I've been applying to jobs in the US for the past several months, and let me say it's kind of been a really arduous and difficult process. Like the job market in the US is tough. I don't know if it's just my city that I've been in, maybe it's just that, but I suspect that it might not just be that, because like even the most basic of jobs, like a job at a McDonald's or like, you know, at a fast food restaurant. But you know, last time I was in the US, at least I got an interview, but this time I didn't even get like an interview. I did not get contacted, or you know, I was rejected straight away. So I've been applying for jobs constantly. I was applying at least like 20 jobs a day. But not every day though, actually, I have to say. But basically it was a pretty intense like application process for jobs, and I've been rejected through and through. And I don't know if it's because of my job experience, you know, and my major, because you know my major is in biochemistry, and I have the biggest experience that I have is 5 years of teaching experience abroad. So I'm not sure if they actually want that. That probably didn't match with what they want. And the other thing is, I also don't have a car in the States, so not having a car also limited me extremely when it came to getting these jobs. So yeah, it was like really tough for me just getting through the door basically. But what ended up happening actually was, well, so then, you know, I did get a job. I did get some jobs here and there just so I could get a little bit of money so that I could apply for a teaching job, because you know, like I said in a previous video, it takes money to apply for a teaching job, like over $300 or $400. So I wanted to earn a little bit of it. Also takes money to like live here for the first month without, you know, getting your first paycheck, before getting your first paycheck. So I wanted to like earn a little bit of money for that. But then the job was like, those jobs are too difficult. It was basically like a door knocking job in the heat of like California. So yeah. So yeah, basically I got a door knocking job, like I said, like in the heat of California. So it's like really hot outside. So it's not a very sustainable job. Like some of the guys there were able to do it long term. I wasn't. Like I simply wasn't able to do it. It was like a little bit too difficult for me, but it was a really good job in the short term. Maybe I would be able to get used to it. It was a job, but you know, basically that was what was available to me. And even that, actually, that was not easy to get either. So anyways, I got that job just so, you know, I had enough money so I could, you know, apply for a teaching job here and then come over here and then use that money for my first month and then get my first paycheck and then live off of my first paycheck here. So that was the original plan. But then one of the jobs that I applied for suddenly contacted me, and it was, I don't want to name any names, but it was a telecommunications company, and it ended up actually being a really cool and really good company. They actually accepted me. There were a lot of applicants, and they ended up accepting me out of like a bunch of applicants. It was like really crazy. But and then they even had a 2-week training for me in LA. So they took me and the other new hirees to LA for a 2-week training session. So where they like trained us on how to be good salesmen. So it was basically like a sales position, but it was almost retail though, because you were basically inside the store, and then the interested customer comes in and then they buy the product, which is the cell phone. So it was telecommunications. So I got that job, and this job is really nice. I know for a fact that a lot of people would kill to get this job, and I was the one that got it. But the thing is, at this point, a school in Korea has already accepted me as a teacher, and I was well on the way of having my visa processed to come over here. So I was already getting ready to come to Korea, but then suddenly this other job accepts me, and now I'm just between a rock and a hard place, and in a kind of a good way, but still I have to make a really tough decision here. So actually I might have done something not too great in hindsight, because, well, I don't know, I would still have done the same thing, but the thing is, actually, I'm not sure. It's kind of difficult because I ended up going to the training and accepting the job because I didn't know if the whole Korea thing was going to pan out. What if like the school would cancel on me the last minute, or if my visa didn't work out, or like something didn't work out at the last minute. Honestly, like at the very last second, I almost wished that that would happen, because I was kind of enjoying the job that I had, the other job that I got. So I did the training and I started the job, but it was already time to go to Korea. So that was my last moment to make a decision whether to stay or whether to go. And but that other job, it was just so chill. You're basically just like sitting there and waiting for the customer to come in, but you're basically getting paid for your time just to sit there and wait. And when the customer comes in, you come in and help them pick out the cell phone that they want. And the thing is, I'm still really ridden by guilt and doubt, and I don't know, can you guys leave a comment in the description and tell me, guys, did I make the correct decision actually abandoning that job and coming over here to South Korea to teach English? Because I don't know if I did make the correct decision at the end of the day. It's kind of crazy to say, like right now at this point in time, a month or so into this, because that other job, they treated me so well. They were so nice to me, and the job itself is really nice. But the thing is, just wasn't enjoying the location, which was basically the US, California, the style of living that is the US. I just don't see myself living there long term. I do see myself living long term in South Korea. That's why I ended up coming here. And actually my long-term plan is to stay in Korea for a very long time, to actually get married here and build a family here, to just build my life in South Korea. That is my long-term plan. But at the same time, I did really enjoy that job at that other place. So which I ended up leaving at the end. Now I do have to say, with what I have just said, I have said it all. Like that was basically the centerpiece of all of my feelings of guilt and shame and just doubt of should I have done this or not, just because of how competitive the job market is in the US, and how people would have done anything for the good job that I had back home. They would have done absolutely anything for that good job, because a lot of people work in really harsh conditions, in bad conditions, in like difficult places, just outside carrying stuff, just doing all kinds of like difficult labor, difficult things. But this job didn't involve any of that. It's basically just like sitting in one spot. It's a very cushy job basically. And I actually did work in telecommunications in another position where they literally didn't pay you until you made a sale. So that was pretty horrific. Like, and you basically kind of had to solicit them outside. So that's the difference. And there was like a bunch of people working that job. So if they were willing to do that job, that shows just how tough it is out there, like just to land a position or something like that. I don't know what it is. Or like obviously they would love to have what I had, but hey, for them, like living a life in the States, that's what they are fine with. They love it. That's what they know. For me, like I've been living in Korea, like I mentioned in my other video, since 2017. I'm not Korean, but you know, I feel very Koreanized, I guess, in many ways. I'm very soulized. I'm not, I don't know. I don't know. That's not the right term, obviously. But I just love Seoul and Korea so much. But at the same time, like all the feelings that I've had when I did arrive here was, the thing is, like, I have been longing to come back to Korea for 9 months. It was like a baby in the making, basically. Kind of crazy, but it was, yeah, for 8 months. Because it was just hot in the States, and I didn't have a car. I couldn't go anywhere. So I was kind of wanting to come back for quite a long time, but you know, when you have such high expectations, they're bound to come crashing down when you do arrive. Because when I did arrive here, so I wouldn't say that all my dreams came crashing down when I came to Korea. Obviously, like it's not that happened, but and I wouldn't say that I was disappointed either. But at the same time, like it made me realize, hey, Korea is a place just like anywhere else. It's a place basically where you live, where you earn money, where you have a job, where people, like, it's basically a place. Like you can't just romanticize a place so to such an extent, and I think I have done that a bit to an extent, which did end up having consequences of me leaving, you know, a very high paying, not that it was high paying, but a very competitive position, just abandoning certain things that were important in order to be with my true love, so to speak, which is Korea. But you know, Korea is still a place that I truly love, and I still am planning to stay here. I still prefer it over the States, and I've been having a good month here, and honestly a lot of stuff has been happening. It's almost like it almost takes time to process, because it's only been a month, but I've been doing a lot of things, and I promised myself that I wouldn't spend money, but goodness, I have been spending money like crazy. There's no way to stop this tsunami of like money spending. They really know how to take your money, especially inside of the convenience stores, the pyeongjums, because well, there's nothing you can do also at the same time, because like when you get hungry, what are you supposed to do? Like the only thing is to buy food. But that's basically the only thing I've been spending on, which is food, which that's still spending, which I really dislike, but at the same time there's nothing I can do there. It's like a non-negotiable expense there. When it comes to my school, perhaps some of you are curious about that. Those of you that are planning to come to teach in Korea, my school has turned out to be really great, and my boss is, so yeah, the school is really good as far as kindergartens go. So when it comes to the management, the boss is really bright and positive, and he's not a negative person, which I really appreciate. The fact that he's so positive, he's so talkative, he makes an effort to talk to you, and really, like, instead of, you know, coming down at you with the negativity, which I did experience, he's like really, yeah, he's like a bright guy. I like him. He's a good guy. And I appreciate him. So I think I lucked out in that respect. When it comes to kindergartens, a word of warning is that it takes a lot of energy from you. The kids are smart, but at the same time be prepared to somehow kind of learn how to entertain them somehow. The thing is, there is a Korean teacher, or at least like 2, sometimes even 3 other teachers inside the room, like with you while you are teaching, which has been happening with me. They've been observing my every class. So then, you know, I feel like a lot of pressure to like entertain, be funny, be like laughy, and just like make them laugh and be super entertaining, great, funny, just like be at the top of my game. And that pressure, I'm beginning to feel like that's kind of not for me, which is part of the reason why I've been feeling so iffy about this new job. I'll be honest with you guys, because, you know, maybe in my 20s, you know, having a teaching job was the right call for me because I was so energetic. I didn't think much of it. I was just going with the flow. Basically, I go into that classroom, I teach that class, and it's fine. Like, it's good. I did my job, right? But then now, I don't, maybe that wasn't the case. Like, maybe I just forgot everything. But then I'm feeling the pressure now. Like, I have to deliver to every classroom, especially like looking at my coworkers too. They are like, I feel like they're really, yeah, they are really smart individuals. They're really like fast thinking, they're clever individuals. And so I really feel the pressure to keep up with their cleverness, to make the class funny and make the kids laugh as well. So there's that. So I guess maybe I should talk about all the things that I like and dislike about, you know, this job. But compared to the job that I had previously, it's so hard for me to not look at all the negatives, because I'll be honest that a sales job perhaps would match me a little bit better than a teaching job, which is kind of a bummer, because, you know, teaching jobs is what is available just in general and visa wise in Korea. But yeah, that I do, like for the 1000th time that I'm thinking this or saying this, I do miss my other job. I wish something like that was available for foreigners here in Korea with a visa here in Korea, into telecommunications, but it's not. Well, the thing is, I did mention this in my other video, but I did used to have like a residence visa, like an F2 resident visa, but I did end up losing that because I didn't stay in Korea for a lot. Like I left Korea, right? But when you leave, you don't end up making money here, which makes you lose out on the points portion, like on the money making portion. So when you don't make enough money, you don't make enough points, which you need to make 80 points in order to pass and get the visa. I don't have those points actually. So when I'll be able to get that is in 2027. I'm actually counting the days till I'll be able to get that visa, because yeah, like I said, this job, it's for me. Like I know that I'm good and I'll be able to get used to it and be good at it, but eventually when I do end up transferring, is I do need to have the correct visa, which so basically I need to be earning enough, and so I need to earn, like basically be earning money in all of 2026, and then apply for the visa in 2027, and that's when I'll be able to get it into 2027. So yeah, counting the days, but at the same time, you know what they say, like it's not about the achievement of the goal, but the journey that gets you there. So I'm just trying to enjoy my journey as I'm getting there. I've decided to let that other job go. And yeah, so I've decided to let that other job that I used to have go, as difficult as it is. Maybe not, maybe one day I will go back to America, which is really unlikely. I don't know. I don't want to go back. I just want that job back. I don't want to go back to America, but I want that old job back. Can I just have that? It's decisions, adult decisions, and it's just so difficult, you guys. Life decisions are so difficult sometimes, you guys. I don't know, guys. Just drop it in the comments. What do you think? Did I make the right decision? Another thing is, let me focus on my Hagwon first. But yeah, I love the Hagwon. I'm not too crazy about the whole kindergarten experience, just because how tiny they are, and we have to take care of like their every single move. And the fact that I'm being watched by like 3 other teachers as I'm doing like everything. But perhaps I am doing a good job, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I just have to keep telling myself that I am doing like a really really great job. Just keep encouraging myself, but it requires like a lot of energy and a lot of kind of like fakeness out of myself. And that's the part perhaps that I kind of dislike about this whole teaching experience. The fact that you really have to pull something out of yourself that might end up being a little bit fake. Like the fact that you have to constantly be talking, or maybe like be a little bit fake to the kids. I mean, they are cute and they're adorable, but you really have to like step it up and be like, just really like, oh my gosh, you were the most adorable thing ever, just to all of them and all the time. But at the same time, like, that kind of annoys the other kids when you do that too. But you know, all of these like really a lot of social dynamics that you have to navigate, which can be a little bit exhausting when you work at a kindergarten. And you know, being an introvert myself, I am an I, not an E, so it's just like a little bit difficult. So but hopefully I'll get used to it, and I'm planning to work this job for more than a year just so I could, you know, get that other visa, the F2 visa. However, the other option is also for me to get married. So if I do end up getting married, I will end up getting the F6 visa, which is an option for other people as well when you come to Korea. So there's also that. And also, you know, seeing a lot of this content come up about Korea, I think I will end up making a video when it comes to all your options, when it comes to getting a visa in Korea, and like your job options and your visa options when it comes to Korea. Like seeing that I have been here since 2017, I do have some like certain information, and I have been researching all that stuff and all the avenues. Sadly for me, like there aren't too many options because I am like age is a factor that comes into it. And when it comes to like several different visas, your country of origin, there are various factors that, you know, but I guess like if you are watching this video, you are from an English speaking country, so teaching English is always a great option for you, which a lot of people from like the other like Russian speaking or like other countries they would also kill for the job that I have now, like the teaching job that I have now. So that's probably their dream job or something like that. So, you know, the grass is always greener on the other side, I'm guessing. So I'll just be happy with what I have at this time. And I think this video might be nearing an end. Please drop a comment, and your comments are really useful. Please tell me what you are curious about. Would you like me to make a video about something that you want to know about the whole teaching thing, visa thing, living in Korea thing? Oh, I'll also probably make a video about housing. So I'm living in an office style right now. I like my housing, it's really great. And what other updates are there? I also want to mention my coworkers. And this video is all over the place, you guys. I'm sorry, but I just want to mention just like my coworkers have been really great, and like they love going clubbing. So I have been really busy. I've been going clubbing like almost every weekend. So that has been crazy. You catch me like in a Hongdae club somewhere. So I'll probably see you guys there somewhere. But yeah, write to me. I should probably also link my Instagram. Write to me on Instagram, and with all your questions. And what is it that I haven't mentioned yet? Let me just think about that. But yeah, I think so far so good. Yeah, actually, before I go, I do want to mention the whole visa thing just really briefly. I will make another video, but just because I mentioned it, I do want to go over it just like really quickly. E2 visa for teaching, and E7 visa if your major matches the job that you're applying for, and you also have at least 1 year of experience, or you have a master's degree, or you have like at least 5 years of experience in that field, but not the major. So there's like 3 different options there. So like just think of it as most likely you're gonna have the major have to match the position, and also have at least 1 year of experience and in that field. So that's the E7 visa. There is the F2 visa, which is for F27, which is the resident visa. It's a point-based visa. If you speak Korean, you need to pass the whole Korean course, take a KIP and a topic test. You don't need the topic, but the KIP non-negotiable. there is, and you also have to be living in Korea. Basically, you have to be like really involved in Korea. So that's the resident visa. Check out the F2. I'll make a separate video. There's the F6, which is the marriage visa. You get it for 2 years. The F5 is too difficult, I would say, for people. That's the one that if you have been living here for several years already, they give you the F5, the permanent resident. And there is, I mentioned the E2, E7, F2. F4 is for Koreans, overseas Koreans. There's the H2, which I'll talk about in the other video, but the H2, I think it's for people, don't quote me on that, but last time I checked, it was like for people in their 20s and only for people from certain countries. So it's a little bit limited, but yes, you can work on that visa as well. So those are all the visas that I can remember at this time. There's also the, like, what is it called? The G2? There's also like the D2 and D4 student visas that you can come on. D4 being the language exchange, not language exchange, like the language course visa, and then the D2, like the university student. So the G2 visa is like, I forgot the name in English, but it's like if you're running away from your country. But I know that some like Russians kind of use it when they are running away from their country, maybe for, they're being like prosecuted in their own country. I think that's the G2 visa. There's also one last one, the E6 visa, which is the entertainment visa, but that one it's kind of hard to find an entertainment job in Korea that's like really stable. So it's either for rich people or you secretly have to work inside a, what is it called? What is like one of those secret places, factory. You have to work in a factory basically secretly for the government not knowing. But yeah, the E6 entertainment visa also exists, but also I heard a little bit hard to get and a lot of people get rejected for that one as well. But yeah, I will make a separate video on that. I just wanted to briefly mention these visas. That's gonna have to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please drop a comment with all your questions, concerns, just anything that you want to say, or a heart. I would love to hear any and all of your thoughts. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This was Mia Jan, over and out. Thank you guys so much. Love you. Bye. Bye.